Welcome back, everyone, to the M3 podcast with Davis Sterling and Jayden Burgart, as usual. Today, it is episode number 45, and we are going to be talking about some pro gamer moves. That's right, everyone's favorite meme or phrase that everyone's throwing out this decade, century? I don't even know anymore. This is what quarantine has done to me. It's turned me into a dumb shit. But anyways, we got some good stuff for you today. We got some Donald Trump thing that I discovered back. This is actually 2020.
His hair is fake. Shit. It's already been proven.
It's already been proven. His skin is fake. Everything about him is fake. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about some Donald Trump stuff. Talking about Ninja. We're gonna be talking about Apple, and we're actually pretty excited about what Tony Hawk has coming up for us. And then Davis wants to get into some MMA stuff. But before we get into all of that, I wanted to talk about something. Mobile game developers. This is something that's really been pissing me off. Reason being is every time I open YouTube, every time I'm watching a video, every time I'm doing something on YouTube, I get an ad for something like Raid Shadow Legends. Everyone knows it. It's the biggest fucking mobile gaming meme of the century. Or there's one guy who plays like it's like a Rise of Kingdoms or some shit like that.
They even sponsored Dude Perfect, like a channel that has nothing to do with gaming.
Yeah, well, they're starting to do gaming stuff like that.
I guess a little bit now, but
it's weird. Yeah. Speaking of Dude Perfect, let's talk about that for a second. They have the weirdest sponsors. No, they had a documentary.
Yeah, it came out yesterday.
Weird.
But anyway, continue.
Anyways. Yeah. Dude Perfect has like the weirdest sense of who they're actually taking up on sponsorship offers. At the beginning, it was easy. It's like Nerf, Ruffles, like stuff like that. Then it started getting really weird. It's like they started to go downhill and they became a little bit more desperate. It's like barbecues, PUBG Mobile, like a game that nobody really plays. It was just hot for like 2 or 3 months, and then after that, it just fell to the wayside. And then
probably because they're such a big channel that they were probably trying to get like the hype of, you know, if Dude Perfect likes this game, then maybe I could like it again.
Exactly,
you know?
But it just seems really weird for them because I was a huge fan of them at one point, and I still respect them a lot. They came from nothing, and they just became famous off of their reactions to just being genuinely good and funny people for the most part. But it's just like they have turned into such a big conglomerate. It's like they can have any sponsorship in the world, basically. And I know they have like stuff with their Christian values that's like, yeah, we don't do anything that kids that shouldn't be going towards kids.
Yeah, they wouldn't do like an alcohol brand or something
like a beer
that.
brand or, you know, stuff like that. But I don't know. I just feel like the Raid Shadow Legends one is a really sketchy one because I've watched videos on Raid Shadow Legends and it's just like, yeah, you know, this Raid Shadow Legends just is fake because it just asks you for paywall after paywall after paywall. They're just asking you for money to continue playing this game when it should be a free-to-play game. It's like, yes, of course, all mobile games have that paywall, but it's like to progress even an inch forward in this game, you have to go past a paywall or you have to wait a certain amount of time, which gets me to this point that I want to make. Mobile game developers and game developers in general, if a core concept of your game is either to bypass it by paying money or not paying the game at all, it's a shit game and should never exist. Okay? AFK Arena, the game that in the name has AFK, away from keyboard. If you are trying to sell people on the fact that, yes, you can win this video game by not playing at all, then congratulations, you're doing that all the time.
It's literally just for downloads.
Exactly.
And like
it's for downloads and just for ads.
Yeah, there's a difference, as we were saying before. Like take
RuneScape. RuneScape was my biggest example. You're playing RuneScape, you click once, you go AFK for like 2 minutes, you're fishing, you're woodcutting, you're doing whatever. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
you are. Or
like I was gonna say, commands. Pokemon Go. You have Pokemon Go, and you're on your phone. You're walking somewhere, and you keep walking, and you hatch your egg.
Yeah, that is totally fine. And that was actually a perfect example. The other one was do you remember when Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out? Like those Pokeball things you could attach to your belt. That is an awesome way to do things because A, you're walking with your Pokemon, so you're actually doing something physical. You're actually doing something to achieve something in the game. That's what video games are. Video games are not for huge monetary value with no purpose whatsoever. Like, I'm not saying this is like, yeah, we shouldn't be paying for video games. I'm saying if you are paying for a video game, there has to be something you're getting out of it. Like, with League of Legends, it's a free-to-play game, but you pay for skins to keep the game going, and you get the game. You get like strategic thinking. You get to be in this cool world full of these different champions and stuff like that,
or like weapon upgrades or character upgrades,
exactly,
or something like that. Like,
yeah, and like, but what's not good is making a fake game just so it's like, oh, sorry, to get to this level, which you have no idea what's behind it, you have to pay $10. There's a, what was it, Star Trek Trexels that Angry Joe reviewed. He was so pissed off about it because it was basically like, to get to this area, you need to pay $25. To play as the original characters, you have to pay $10 each for each of the characters. And it's like, no, that's not how this works at all. Right?
That's worse than EA's freaking...
Yeah, and I'm not saying League of Legends is the best example of this, because League of Legends is a pretty bad example where you get a skin every fucking, like, 1 month unless you pay money. But you don't have to pay for the skins. You can just wait around it. If you don't want to play with skins, that's fine. But back to my original point. Things like Ulala or AFK Arena, where the game is, okay, if you don't do anything, you go farther than if you were actually playing it. That's a stupid concept, and if you play one of those games, unironically, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, you're an idiot. It just is that stupid to me. And maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe I'm missing the chance to actually play it. I'm not downloading it. I don't want to give them that satisfaction of winning. I don't want to, because you know why? Because I don't want to have viruses on my phone. I don't want to have ads pop up on my phone. I don't want to go back and see, oh yeah,
there must be more to it, because like,
or they're just fake.
Because because like what literally, unless like it might, the only thing I can think of is like I was saying before, is that maybe it's you start, like you were saying, you start collecting your wood when it's in the background.
Yeah.
Or like weapons or whatever.
Yeah.
But this playing the entire game, that's
by AFK. Like, yeah. I've seen the ads where it's like AFK and you go from level 0 to level 99 in like 3 seconds. It's like, that just seems stupid. Why would anyone do that? When you can play
start
RuneScape.
The game at level 99.
Exactly. Or why not play RuneScape, where you can just, actually grind out and get level 99 and get your skilled cape and just feel so much more accomplishment. Like, I just don't understand how mobile games are getting ad space and so much money from morons. Like, it's insufferable to me. And it's like, maybe I'm a moron because I play League of Legends, but I still don't understand how all of these companies are like, nobody ever thinks, hey, maybe I should look at the background behind this game, or maybe I should look at what the point of this game is, because if it's literally just to download it and keep it in your pocket, then sorry, you're an idiot. It just doesn't make sense.
That's just like the Apple games that are $99 that do absolutely nothing. Not games, but apps.
Mm-hmm.
But no, this just made me think. The Yu-Gi-Oh game that I play all the time, it's a free game, and there are no ads. I haven't had any issues with pop-ups or anything. I'm
That's
surprised.
Interesting.
And like they do the same thing that most games do. You either collect gems and keep on winning and grinding to get gems to buy packs and whatever, or you can spend like $3 and buy like more packs.
Yeah.
Which, how I play, I don't really need it, and I'm kind of surprised that, like, this just got me thinking that I've been playing a free-to-play game where there are no ad pop-ups, which is kind of surprised. Which is that just made me think of that. That's good.
It just doesn't. Yeah, that shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, right?
Duel Links, Konami, I think is the...
Shout out to Konami for making a mobile game that doesn't require microtransactions. You're okay with having microtransactions in free-to-play games. I understand why that needs to happen, but like the game should not be solely, hey, I'm a game for morons so that they can spend hundreds of dollars to go literally nowhere. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, this is such like a double-edged sword, because anyone could just be like, well, Jayden, you spend hundreds of dollars on League skins and stuff like that. It's like, true, but I've gotten enjoyment out of them, and I actually use them a lot, and, it just makes sense compared to, hey, like, AFK Arena, why would I bother spending money on this when I'm not even going to open the fucking game? Right? Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. So, moral of the story here, Please, for the love of God, do not make video games that the sole purpose in them is to go AFK. Okay? There are games that you can go AFK in for quite some time, depending on the certain thing. Like you're playing RuneScape. RuneScape is my favorite example. RuneScape, you have the game open on another browser, you click once, you're wood cutting a little bit, you're doing some fishing, you're doing some cooking, and then like 2 minutes later you have to put in another input to keep playing the game. That's fine. Pokemon Go, a great example by Davis. You can put it in your pocket. You don't have to have the game open. If you aren't walking around catching Pokemon, there's no point in you wasting battery. So if you have the game off, but in your pocket, and you're walking around with your phone, you could still get steps, which you have earned in real life, that go towards the game. That all makes sense. So yeah, that's it. I'm done.
Okay, and next.
And next. Fuck AFK Arena. Fuck Ulala. Fuck the annoying people who advertise that shit or like lend their voices to it, because I have grown to hate every single one of them. So yeah, fix your shit. Make a pro gamer move and don't do that shit again. And I'm just gonna say this right now. Fuck you. That's all. That's it. My brain is at a fucking drought right now.
Okay, so what's the next?
The next topic. Okay, the funny thing. Let's go on to Donald Trump. Donald J. Trump. He released something on January 16th, 2020. So this is before I think we started redoing the podcast. Before we started doing like I think we call this like our season 4 on Anchor, or no, this is season 3. So
3.
Yeah. So Donald Trump, he made a video on Twitter, and it's called Promises Made, Promises Kept. And we're just going to roll it out just a little bit here. We're going to go just a little bit. And if you listen closely,
my number one priority is to dismantle
the song that they use is the League of Legends song. One of the League of Legends songs back in like season 7 or like season 5 or something like that. This song is used in League of Legends Champ Select, and it's fucking hilarious that Donald Trump used this song in one of his tweets, in one of his like promotional videos. So of course the internet took to storm. They're just like, oh yeah, one of the guys who owns one of the biggest league gaming teams, Gamers 2, also known as Ocelot, he said, excellent pick and ban phase, Mr. President. Stuff like that. Trump has my vote in 2020. Who else is with me? Shit like that. Like, of course, there's a ton of people just going angry about it. But some people are trolling. If it's Thursday, it says it's Thursday. I don't know what the fuck. Then hashtag deranged Donald is still impeached or some shit like that. And it's like got Donald Trump as the McDonald's clown. What the fuck is this?
Ronald?
Yeah, Ronald. Okay. I don't know. But anyways, yeah.
What does that have to do with anything? I don't know.
I don't know. What it has to do with anything? I don't know. I'm sending it to Davis right now just so he can see. But yeah. It just made me laugh that this happened, and everyone's like, are there copyright questions or stuff like that? It's like, no, it's stock music. People can do it all the time. People can use the music if they pay for it, things like that. So I don't know. It was just something funny. Donald Trump is a huge League of Legends fan. He's a Teemo main, which means he's the devil himself. So yeah.
Well, to be fair, it most likely wasn't Trump himself that approved the song.
Probably not.
Probably just his media campaign people.
Mm-hmm.
They either did it on purpose to get that reaction, or they got it and just thought it was, I don't know, neat, and thought it was interesting and didn't think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Yeah, I highly doubt actually Trump himself cares about any of that type of shit.
Did you hear there was I think there's some interview, I can't remember who it was by. They were interviewing Donald Trump when he went to that hospital without a face mask on. And they were like, so Donald Trump, what's with you not having a face mask in this picture? And he's like, no, that I had a face mask on all the time. They're like, that's clearly not true because this picture clearly says that you haven't had one and that you didn't have one on. But then he's like, no, check all the other pictures on all the other pictures I have them. It's like, we have all the pictures. You did not have a face mask on at some point during this or the entire time. So what is going on with that? He's like, no, that's all a lie. That was all photoshopped or some shit like that. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Of course, I'm
hypocritical.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Shall we move on to the next thing, which is also League of Legends related, because we can't get enough of this game.
We? What do you mean we?
We here at M3 love League of Legends. So,
yeah.
Anyways, let's move on.
Yes, because you speak for all of us.
Hey, I am the editor-in-chief here. I am the one who uploads everything.
I'm CEO.
You're CEO.
Just kidding.
My ass.
Anyway.
Just because you came up with the idea.
Hey, we don't need to go down that hole again. We've discussed it multiple times already.
Kidding. Of course. Anyways, let's go on to this next thing. So, there's been a lot of League of Legends drama being thrown around with teams and stuff like that. You know, the season just ended and the next season is just beginning here. So teams are looking to, like in football and stuff and baseball and stuff like that, they're looking for trades. So here's the backstory behind this. So there was a player called Doublelift who is on a team called Team Liquid. His girlfriend, Leena, was the president of a different team called Team Solo Mid. They were dating at the time, and they were like, this doesn't really affect anything too much because A, they don't talk about work when they're at home, and B, they're on two separate teams, so it's not like it's unprofessional or anything. It's just like, you know, a Romeo and Juliet kind of love, but everyone accepted it and moved on. Then, at the end of the season, they decided, hey, let's bring Doublelift back onto TSM because he's not working out on Team Liquid. So, of course, everyone's pointing fingers like, Leena got him this position, Leena got him this, blah, blah, blah. So, there was a ton of drama that was going on, but some people were like, yes, it's a little bit weird, but it's respectable. They said that Leena did not have any decision-making, and if he comes to the team or not, things like that. So, that all started to die down, and then the next thing happened. So there's two things that happened. One player got dropped. His name was Kabe. He was the former AD carry that Doublelift is replacing, but they said, yeah, he got dropped. He's going back to Europe because we all made a decision with Kabe, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't really matter. What happens is, because of quarantine, everyone's working from home, right? Leena and Doublelift live together now, and they are both on the same team. So Leena is taking phone calls in the other room, but she's pretty loud, and it's a pretty small apartment. So Doublelift is live streaming his games. He's playing League of Legends, so he's live streaming. And the mic overhears Leena go, yeah, we can't trade Dardoch off, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what's up. So basically what they're saying is this player named Dardoch, who, if you don't know, by the way, he is one of the most toxic League of Legends players to ever go professional. Like, he has had such a bad attitude and stuff like that. I remember he was making comments at teams that were like, yeah, they just won off of a fluke. If they were good, they wouldn't have been down 4 dragons and 10 towers and, you know, so many kills or whatever. It's just like, they just got one lucky team fight and that was that, blah, blah, blah. But apparently he's been causing trouble for TSM and they're trying to trade him off. But basically what happened is now everyone knows that Dardoch is up for replacement and nobody is looking for him, basically saying that his career is now over, essentially. So I was watching a YouTuber by the name of Loco who used to be a coach. He was basically saying, yeah, the smartest move for Dardoch to make right now is to take a step back, don't play during the split, take time off, reform himself, make sure he's a good person, make sure he's a good player, because he played like shit, and then he can get back on his feet potentially. But if he doesn't do that, his career is basically over at this point. So I don't know what to say to this other than Leena's in the wrong here because she's slightly dumb and being like, yeah, why are you talking about work while Doublelift is streaming in the other room? Why not either A, go to a different room, or B, like, talk about business when he's not streaming, or have him stream at a different time? Because there's a lot of things that could have happened, but this is what happens when you're dating the president of a company, of a team, and you're your boyfriend or your significant other is a live streamer who streams all the time now because he's got nothing else to do, right? So this was a huge thing that was brought on by a ton of people online, and she has since issued a apology, so I'm just going to read it right now. I'd like to make our apology to our community and to Dardoch over my lapse of judgment on handling an important call next to a live stream. No one wants their private information linked, and it's not fair to Dardoch that this happened. No one feels worse. In the back end, since the end of our spring split playoffs run, we've been working with Dardoch on the possibility of him splitting time or moving to academy. However you want to join the team, blah, blah, blah. However, it was never my intention to, nor have I ever tried to drag a player publicly. TSM and I have always tried our best. Basically, she's saying, yeah, I fucked up. Sorry. Yeah, that's all it says. And it's like, yeah, you could say sorry all you want, but the damage is basically done. You screwed up. You definitely screwed up. You fucked up there. But hopefully that helps her learn a little bit more, because now that she...
How old are they?
They're like... Doublelift is somewhere in his 30s. Let me see. I have no clue. She's 27, I think? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's
because
like...
I was thinking... Okay, yeah, being... No, I was just curious because, like, just on how you're describing her or the apology or whatever, it sounds like she's, like, 15.
Like they're
just
still...
by the yeah.
They're still pretty young, but it's just, like, the fact that she accidentally just said on live stream, yeah, sorry, nobody wants to pick up Dardoch. Nobody wants this. Like, nobody wants this player. This player is basically done. It's not up to me, for example, no one wants to pick up Dardoch, and that's not my fault. That's exactly what was said, apparently. It's not up to me, for example. No one wants to pick up Dardoch. That's not my fault. Was overheard. I've made it sure to boost the audio so you can hear it clearly. Yeah. So, yeah.
So in other words, she's saying that he was shit regardless. It had nothing to do with the fact that the audio was there.
Yeah. She's basically saying, yeah, I shouldn't have done this. But it's like, you should have known that you shouldn't be taking important business calls that are right next to your boyfriend, who, if, like, there was an entire possibility Locodoco came up with, which was, Doublelift, he could have been on Team Liquid, and he's overhearing this shit. Now he has insider information on the other team that he's playing against. Like, that is absurd. That is, like, I don't know how she didn't think of this before, but yeah, I guess she slipped up, and unfortunately, Dardoch has to pay the price of it because, A, they're not going to do anything to Leena because she's still the president of the company. She's still doing super duper well. It's just like, what are they going to do? They can't force her to, like, split off from Peter or Doublelift. They can't force them to be apart. They can't break them apart just because it's like, hey, for the integrity of the company, you guys cannot be together anymore, because it shouldn't have happened in the first place. But, like, they were a couple for a year or two before Doublelift joined back to TSM, because Doublelift was on a different team for like 2 or 3 years. So, because
it's kind of like dating your coworker if you were talking in like every, like, you know, I'm not sorry.
It's like dating your boss.
It's like, but they were dating before they were working together, right? So it's just transferring the relationship over. So
yeah, it's just they've had a terrible time transitioning because first off, all the drama started happening, and then, like, people were defending them at first. They were like, yeah, this is fine, like, it's a little unprofessional, but Leena had no decision making into bringing Doublelift onto the team, and now he's back on the team and stuff like that. So it was kind of seen as unprofessional at the beginning, but everyone moved past it. They're like, love exists in many forms, this is one of them. But now that everyone's like, this is the problem about having them as a couple and now living together, especially in this quarantine world. If there was no quarantine, guaranteed this never would have happened.
Yeah,
probably.
But the thing is, like I was saying, I think the only reason that people are kind of reacting to it because is the fact that it is a big people that are a part of big major League of Legends teams, though, so it's known throughout. Because like if you think about it, people have been doing like dating in work situations and
I've
stuff
done
like
it
that.
before. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it
all
happens,
the time.
and sometimes it
The only
works out
time,
really well, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just goes to shit.
the only time it becomes an issue, big deal, is if it's for a corporation or a company, like like a lawyer's corporation or a giant food chain or something like that. Like if you're and it's only because she's the president of this team.
Yeah.
So
well, it's also just like sparking a lot of controversy. That's like there are problems with this in this team, and now there's even more problems with this team. So Loco Doco said before, like TSM fans are having it so rough right now. Like it's really bad because now it's like they're changing the roster up. Now there's a ton of this drama going on. It's like it's really hard to be a TSM fan when all of this stuff is going down and they're making such big mistakes. Apparently they don't even have a PR manager. They don't have or HR person or like it's PR, a PR person to like handle the apologies and stuff like that, because it's like Leena brought these apologies out herself and she was like, I'm sorry, but it's like she really needed a PR person to say like it was not our intention to do this. Yeah, like we tried our best to do this, and unfortunately due to the circumstance of quarantine, which she didn't even say, by the way. She didn't even say like, yeah, because of quarantine we've had to do this, or try to explain why she was close to the room that Doublelift was streaming next to, right? Or like maybe she didn't know he was live or something like that. But it's like you should be on the same page about this stuff. But yeah, it was basically just a huge bunch of mistakes that blew up, and now Leena is paying the price. Well, it's not even Leena. Dardoch is paying the price because now everybody knows that nobody wants Dardoch unless he goes down to a different team or to a different like academy team, like in the amateur scene or some shit like that. Like it's going to be really difficult for them.
Her mistake is fucking him over.
Yeah, her mistake is fucking a lot of people over. It's fucking over herself, it's fucking over Doublelift, it's fucking over Reginald, who was the creator of TSM and who was Leena's ex-boyfriend, by the way. So, it's fucking over Doublelift because he looks like a terrible boyfriend. It's fucking over everyone at TSM because they're like, yeah, okay, now nobody is going to support us because of all of this drama and shit like that, because Leena has been making these huge mistakes. So, unfortunately, I have no idea what's going to be in the future for Leena, what's going to be in the future for Dardoch, whether or not they're going to have to split up living together for right now until the quarantine's over, and then they can live together at home, so they could be like, yeah, okay, it's 6 o'clock, all of the work stuff is done. If we have work stuff, then then I can just go in the bedroom, and if you're streaming or whatever, but there has to be some other way to make sure that this doesn't happen again, because it's just unprofessional, it's absurd, it's ruining more than just her view, what people view of her, it's ruining Dardoch's view. Now everyone's just like, yeah, Dardoch was a huge problem, now he's an even bigger problem because TSM can't get rid of them and stuff like that. So I don't know, that's basically it. Welcome to the League of Legends drama. This is how it is. It's nuts, it's ridiculous, and unfortunately so much shit. And unfortunately it's like I can't even be like, yeah, Leena, I feel bad for you. It's like I kind of feel bad for you, but also you should be a lot more careful, especially. And one of the things that was said in this article is like, since the clip spread, some people have stated the business call should have never happened in front of an employee, aka Doublelift, with whom Leena is in a relationship, and that it was an unprofessional move. So it's like an unprofessional move on top of an unprofessional move on top of an unprofessional move, because A, she's talking to her boyfriend about, or she's talking in the midst of with her boyfriend of Dardoch. So she's talking within earshot of an employee / relationship and they're talking about business stuff that is very, very important. And if it were to be released, like it just has, it could cause a lot of problems. So,
and that's where, like, professional gaming starts getting mingled in the same category as sports or like a lawyer or actual like industry.
Yep.
Like I'll using myself as an example because I don't follow gaming, esports, and all that stuff. I just see it, and there are definitely a lot of people that are like, gaming is not a career and everything like that. Like people that all they do is just play the video game, but they're not making any money off it or they're not sponsored or anything like that. Then it's not a career. You're just playing games.
Yep.
But when you're getting at that level where you're actually part of an entire team and what you say can affect the other people in your team or ops teams or leaking information, it's the same idea as if you're doing it and then you transfer sports teams. Like a coach for the NHL would get called out, but it would be on Sports Center instead of on X number of gaming websites, right?
Yeah.
It's just that the only thing is, so like that's why it's weird when, for me, because I agree, I understand the idea of esports as a career and an industry. Yeah. But I just don't find it myself. So like esports is such a weird topic for me. Yeah. Because I understand it, but I also don't at the same time. Yeah. So it's like,
and that's the thing. Like that's when I was 15, like I told my parents I wanted to be an esports pro. Like I wanted to be a league pro because basically in the span of like 3 months, I went from the literally lowest rated players you could possibly be to one of the highest tiers you could achieve. So I was like top 1% in the world, or top 1% in NA, so probably like top 5% in the world. So I was doing really, really well. And being at a high school age, all I would need is just like, cool, if I trained really, really hard for the summer, and then I like was not cutting classes, but like, if I took the time that I was doing homework and stuff like that, if I cut that in half and I did that, then I could become a pro. But anyways, I'm getting past that. My parents never understood it as a career until now, until they're seeing me buy these jerseys, they're seeing me watch these pro leagues, and they're like, oh yeah, this is actually really interesting. And it's cool that people can make that. But
it is still hard to see, even though it's a lot more popular now compared to even like 2015. Even like 2015, it was still a big thing, and like it's still taking a long time, but you really have to look at it as the same as people, even like myself. Like I'm trying to get into professional filmmaking. That's still another thing. Like you at least can practice gaming and get into stuff a lot easier.
Well, you can practice filmmaking too. It's just...
I can, but it's just at the YouTube level basically, and it's just at the low, right?
Well, still, you can like that's how people. That's how people can start careers and stuff like that, right? There are people who are. There's a guy who, his name was the Peace Pigeon. He was a YouTuber, and he actually did so well on his YouTube channel, and he made such good content that Riot Games actually took him in and helped him work out. Or I think there's a guy, I don't know if it was Dutchmash or Dionade, one of them got an internship at Riot Games and stuff like that.
Yeah. And like I know, for example, for like how YouTube, like for people that don't think becoming a YouTuber is a career either, it's the same pool, right? Yeah. You have to really put the effort into it. Or you could do or there is a YouTuber by one of the original YouTubers, Mr. Mystery Guitar Man.
That guy.
Yeah, he's up there with Smosh, Nigga Higa, then like early 2000s. He actually transferred into becoming a professional like filmmaker, cinematographer, I think. Yeah. So like it takes you, but it's just different routes. Like I'm in the process of kind of trying to do YouTube and expanding into film, like doing both. Like it's just, you have to have that mindset of this day and age. It's not just go become an electrician or whatever, right?
Yeah. It's something that you definitely have to keep working for. You definitely have to keep pushing for and stuff like that. And this goes out to the one person at my work that doesn't understand what video games and esports are. You're young enough to understand how much hard work people will go to get what they want. So you cannot say that professional esports players or professional gamers in general are just nerds that sit in their basement, because guess what, bitch? They do, and they get the results. They get way more money than your ass ever will. You know who I'm talking to, and I swear to God, if I have to share this with you and just be like, yeah, esports is a
if you
career.
can
It was a career 3 years ago when I talked to you about this. It's a career now, bitch. So step the fuck up, educate yourself, because guess what? Esports is here to fucking stay.
If you can find the clip, maybe link in the description if you can find it. But I'll send it to you.
What's up?
There's a show on HBO called Ballers. It's stars Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Essentially, and one of basically like talking about some retired football players, right?
Yeah.
And one of the most recent seasons, this ex-professional football player is looking into getting into esports as a new career.
Ooh.
And trying to explain to his manager on how it is actually a real job. So if I can find that clip, I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Anyway, well, let's. What's the next thing we're talking about, good sir?
The next thing we are talking about is more pro gamer moves. Wow, what a surprise! The next pro gamer move comes from Ninja. We're gonna keep this one short and simple because this is a waste of Tyler Fisher's time as a editor. So basically, this article says Fortnite Ninja claims, I don't know why he did air quotes, but Ninja claims he could easily, Jesus Christ, it's so hard for me to read, easily be one of the best players in the world. I'm just going to keep this short and sweet and simple. Tyler, which is your real name, yes, you could be one of the best players in the world. Of course, you have to go up against other people who've been doing professionally for years, who've been playing professionally for years. You would have to be going up against them, but there's nothing stopping you from being the best player in the world. So this claim is this article right here is telling us, the viewers, that you either need to put up or shut up. So you either need to put up and say, okay, I'm going to try to be one of the best players in the world, or shut up and say, I could have been, but I'm not, and I'm okay with that. Because what this looks like is you look like an egotistical little bitch. I could be one of the best players in the world, but I'm not because I'm focusing on streaming. It's like, yes, that is true. So stop being an egotistical little bitch who, when someone in your Twitch chat calls you a stupid loser because you lost a game of Fortnite to an 11-year-old, just stop being an egotistical loser, say, yeah, he beat me that one time, oh well, so on and so forth. Then either keep streaming or try to be one of the best players in the world. That's your choice. Fuck this article. Ninja, do your shit. Next article. Next thing we wanted to talk about. So Davis sent me this one. This one was really cool. So Marques Brownlee, who's an awesome tech YouTuber and reviewer, he came up with a video called the 700 Mac Pro Wheels Explained. So Davis sent me this because he wanted me to rage. I actually really enjoyed this video.
Well, no, I wanted to explain expecting you, because I had figured you had already. I figured you had already heard of them because they were on a few other channels and pages, and I thought you would have been raging already because you hate Apple and shit that doesn't work and shit that's pointless, and you have raged before.
Yeah, I've seen. You know what? I will say this. There's like apparently a $300 iPhone that works super duper well. I'm honestly thinking of buying it just because, you know, it's an iPhone. It does whatever I need to, but also it can't really play games too well probably, so I'm not going to probably get it. But I actually caught my eye and caught my interest, like, wow, they actually made a budget-friendly iPhone that's probably not shit. But I don't have coronavirus. Well, the thing is, with this video,
I was just gonna make a joke on that.
Too late.
You beat me to it, you bastard.
I am too good at what I do. But anyways, so Marques Brownlee goes into what the Mac Pro wheels are. They're $700 heavyweight metallic wheels, and he basically says, yeah, Apple can flex on us like this because they want to represent their brand that can flex stuff like this. They can basically just be a premium, high quality brand that everyone aspires to own and achieve. So that's why they can make these $700 wheels. And B, they already make so much money off of their iPhones, their iPads, their other stuff like that they can basically afford to pay for these $700 wheels. And if only a niche market buys them, then fine, whatever. It's just a flex at this point. And sure, you made some money back, good for you, right? So it's basically like you're going to a restaurant and they have a meal that's like $15, and it's made with really, really expensive products. but no, I'm saying this wrong. I'm trying to
basically you're trying to say that when you have gold flux on a stake or
it's just
or
gold ribbons or something like that, then they can just afford to do it because they make so much money off of it, right? Or like they sell, let's say someone's selling a steak for $20, but it only costs the company $5 to actually make the steak, to buy and procure the meat. So they sell like billions of those. So now they have billions of extra dollars. So now they can just be like, we just bought a steak that's a solid gold steak. You can't physically eat it, but you can buy it for $5 million. And then
I don't know,
people
Mr.
will
Beast
buy it.
tried to.
People will buy it. People will buy it because it's like, wow, it's ridiculous and stupid and not necessary, but I want to feel important, so I will spend the $5 million, and people will do that. So the thing with
one
this...
thing I liked how... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
But the one thing I liked how he compared is, like, they don't even have locked on them, and the fact that your tower for your Mac would literally be stationary, so it's kind of pointless. You literally don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could maybe spend, 50, like if you want to put wheels on it, spend $50 on the cheap plastic ones.
Yep.
Or whatever, and then he explains, or $700 for the app. Like, it's just funny how he kind of compares Apple to like Lamborghini or
Bugattis.
Bugatti, I think he says. Yeah,
Bugattis or Rolexes or Supreme, stuff like that, like the Supreme clay brick red, which is being sold for like $187, which is literally just a brick that has the Supreme logo engraved into it, which you can do yourself for like, if you can find a mortar for brick, you can make it yourself. So I thought it was a really, really good video, and I think I'm not too mad about it because it's like I can kind of see that it's got some value to it, but it's still super overpriced for something that is completely unnecessary unless you're moving your computer from one side of the room to the other constantly. Because I don't know if you've ever moved computers, Davis, but when you move a desktop computer, you don't roll it or slide it. It is so light you can pick it up. The only time it's useful is if you are physically unable to carry it, like you are super weak or you have a disability or something like that. That's the only time that I could see these wheels being accessible. But what happens if you have to move from downstairs to upstairs or upstairs to downstairs and you don't have a ramp?
And then, like he said, when he talked about it, they don't even lock. So once you get it to your computer, you're going to have to like put a Supreme brick in front of the wheel so it doesn't roll.
That was awesome. That was so good. Holy shit. You impressed me with that one. But yeah, the Supreme brick. Yeah, you'd have to Supreme brick the side of it or park a Bugatti next to it or some shit so it doesn't move. So there were a lot of things that were overthought here, but they were basically just like, ooh, wheels. And yeah, of course it's stupid, and they missed out on a lot of features that could have made them worth $700. But of course, since it's Apple, they're just like, let's just go for the show. We're a luxury brand. Let's show that we're a luxury brand and just waste hundreds of thousands of dollars on wheels that not many people need. Like maybe 5 people out of every 500, right?
Yeah.
Or like
Mr. Beast can afford them. That's about it.
Yeah, Mr. Beast can get them for him and all of his assistants for free and for whatever reason. So yeah, I would say don't buy Mac Pro wheels. You don't need them. You can pick up the computer yourself, you lazy ass. Unless, unfortunately, you can't, which, of course, I'm sorry for. But you can ask someone else to pick it up for you. Or you can find another way. Say, get a cart, right? Like, there are, those little things that kids sit on, like the 4-wheel things?
I was thinking of the exact same thing.
Yeah, like you would use in gym class.
Yep.
Yeah, you just put those underneath the computer, and you can roll it. Or, just don't move it because it's a PC. You don't need to really be moving it anywhere. The most I ever moved a computer was my laptop, or I would use it I would take my desktop to a friend's house to play League of Legends at a LAN party. Those are the only things that I would do.
Hence why when I do need to upgrade, I'm going to stick with laptops instead of a computer. Like an actual tower, because it's portable. I can go to your place and we can
edit
game
and
or
record.
edit or whatever. Yeah, like it's because right now my computer's, now that I have the specs figured out and it's running well, it works well.
Yeah.
And eventually when I do update, like that's the thing. I know we tend to shit on Apple a lot and everything, but to be fair, some of the things that they make are good.
Oh,
but
yeah,
a lot
absolutely.
of the things are also like, but it's just we are both Android users and we prefer.
They make high quality phones that are really good in some aspects, but they're just not the all around machines that you want them to, like a Google Pixel would do or a Samsung Galaxy would do, right? Like they can't play games or they can't do this option. It's like, sure, they have this expensive price tag and it's worth it in some ways, but in some ways it's not. So that's the issue that we have as people. And Macs in general are just like really, really dumb to use. I remember when we started going to Nate, when we went into film editing class, I would always take out my own mouse and plug it in because I hated the mouse that they use because it's like super dumb and it's like flat and it doesn't feel right. It's like, why would I not just use the mouse that I bought, right? It just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, that's why we hate Apple, and like that's why we hate this, because it seems unnecessary, it's useless, it's super expensive, it's everything that we hate about Apple. But if you spend the money to go all in on Apple, good for you. I don't fucking care. That's your decision. It's your, in my opinion, it's your loss if it just doesn't work out and it's like, oh yeah, I can't play League of Legends on my MacBook. It's like, well, that sucks. Then you probably should have thought of that before you got a MacBook. So, oh well. All right, let's stop hating. Let's go on to something cool. All right, so I saw this today and I sent it to Davis. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Collector's Edition includes a Birdhouse deck. So, first off, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 are being remastered. That's pretty cool, because
another game being remastered.
I love Tony Hawk games when I was growing up. They were super duper fun.
Oh yeah.
They were super awesome. I loved playing them because they were just like, yeah, this is what it's like to be a pro skater, and this is why I love pro skating and stuff like that. But now with this, it's like the collector's edition. Let's look at the collector's edition. So for, I think it's $100 US, so it's like 120, 130 Canadian. Look, you could just get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, so you get the game, and then you get digital deluxe edition content, so they're selling you another pass, which I could really not care for too much, but hey, you get the extra value. Maybe it's some cool cosmetics, like a cool board or something like that. Maybe it's this board, and then you get a limited edition full-size Birdhouse skateboard deck. So it's an actual skateboard deck. That has to be one of the coolest collector's edition items that I've ever seen, and we've seen some cool ones, aka the Destroy All Humans backpack. Oh man, do I want those cheeks?
I was just gonna say other
than that, of course. But like, I was just gonna bring that up. Yeah, like there's things like statues and stuff like that. Here's the thing with collector's editions: there's a lot of useless stuff that comes with it that you don't really use unless you have a gaming room to display it all. So like a Crash Bandicoot statue or a Halo Reach statue. It's like
the Halo. Yeah, I was gonna say the Halo. I remember Halo 3 collectors came out with an actual Master Chief helmet.
Yeah, there's like the Master Chief helmet with the actual microphone inside, so you could connect it to your controller and play using a Master Chief helmet. That is super cool. That is awesome. But some of them are completely useless. Like there was a Just Cause 3 one with a grappling hook that you actually couldn't get your hand into to pretend that you're using it, so it's just a collector's piece, which was just stupid. Or you get like these little Destiny discs or stuff like that. They're super useless. So shout out to Tony Hawk.
Or
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, or one that I remember, God of War Collector's Edition had a Kratos statue.
Yeah.
Like again, you can't use it, but at least it was like a full, like 15-inch or something like that statue of Kratos.
Yeah. So the first thing I want to say is shout out to Activision for actually making a collector's edition that it looks worth to buy. So of course you're gonna have to spend more money to get the deck how you want it to, but from what it looks like, the decks are signed too. So if you look at the picture here, on the right side, there's a signature by Tony Hawk. So I don't know if he hand signed these or if they're all printed on, but that's super cool. So Activision did a really good job at making this edition sell. So like $120 for 2 games, 2 classic games, plus DLC DLC content, which I have no idea what it is, so it could be completely worthless. But the skateboard deck itself is super duper cool. And if I didn't get the digital deluxe edition and this cost like, say, $100 Canadian, I'd be so into buying that. But at $100 US, you get a skateboard deck plus the DLC plus the 2 games. I think this is a steal. I think this is absolutely a steal.
Yeah, considering most games when they come out are just the game alone is like $80.
Yeah. It's exactly it. That's what the market is now. It's $80 Canadian for all like these AAA games like Anthem or Call of Duty or Halo, stuff like that.
Okay, so it's like 60 American, but still.
Yeah.
So that's still not even that big of a deal.
Yeah, but
in comparison, right?
But for an extra $40, you get something cool that you can both use or you can put up on your wall or on your or somewhere else and display it proudly and be like, yeah, look at this cool fucking board that I got for pre-ordering Tony Hawk. Or you could go and shred with it like every other skater will do. But with this, apparently it's including multiplayer. This game is including multiplayer. As well as original level, skaters, tricks, modes, and most of the soundtrack you love. So unfortunately, I don't think they could have gotten the rights to some of these songs, but most of them they got back or whatever. But yeah, this seems really, really reasonable, and I have to give a shout out to Activision because if this cost $200, I'd say don't buy it. $200 American dollars, sorry. If this is $200 American, I would say don't buy it. It's not worth it. The deck is not worth that much. But considering it's only $100 American, so for an extra...
Sorry, go ahead.
So for the extra $40, you're getting DLC, which most DLC in games costs around $40 anyways, for like more maps or more skins, stuff like that. So you're already getting your value back with this DLC, unless it's like, cool, you get 1 extra map and 1 skin. Wow! Like, that's not worth it. But let's say that is it.
Yeah, DLC to be announced, basically.
Yeah, DLC to be announced or really shitty DLC. But let's say the DLC is good. Let's say it's on average. Let's say it's like
3 maps and
Black Ops 3. Yeah, let's say it's Black Ops 3 DLC because Black Ops 3 DLC had 2 flops and 2 greats. 2 of the best that we've ever seen. So like let's say it's that. Like let's say it's completely average, kind of worth $40. Then you get basically the board for free. So either Activision's dumb and they're just like, well, yeah, we're just gonna give these away for free for no reason and just make a ton of money off of this, or B, they're smart and they're like, yeah, people will buy this because of the board and the DLC doesn't really matter at this point, so we're just getting a ton of money anyways and we're actually doing this for the fans. But that all remains to be seen. But so far it's looking really, really good for Activision. I have to give them props here, even though I don't like it sometimes.
So the thing I was gonna ask is it's a full-sized deck, like an actual skateboard, not just like a display. So I think the also cool thing about that is that my hypothesis kind of is that it might get kids a little bit more into skating again. Because you don't see kids skateboarding anymore, right? Like not as much. Obviously, everyone
around here, I definitely see them. Like with Beaumont, we do have a pretty good skate park. So I remember when I was a kid, I saw a bunch of teenagers hang out there, and ever since then, every time I drove by, there were always teenagers like doing scooter tricks and stuff like that. But it's become less and less so. So yeah, people have definitely gone away from skating because it's like, oh yeah, video games exist, or they're doing stuff like, I don't know, they're going for bike rides, or they're going out with their friends into town or something like that.
Yeah, which there's nothing wrong with any of that, like biking or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, and skating was really popular in 90s and before, like 90s, 80s, like 90s and like 70s, I guess would probably be the era, and it was popular up to maybe the 2005, 2006, and then it started kind of dropping down and I guess as you were saying, it kind of gets a little bit popular again.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know I've seen, I still have seen people. I more see people on like the short ones or like the longboards, more as like transportation.
Yeah.
Not so much as going out skating for like this actually going skating. So
yeah,
if I got it myself, I probably still wouldn't do it, but I would probably put it up, just hang it up on my wall.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I don't know what I would do with it. I would love to go out with it because first off, I am a longboarder. I love longboarding ever since I got into it in like 2017. I think. Yeah, 2017. So when I got into it in 2017, I was going out like all the time. I would longboard to work. And then during the summer of 2018, I was doing it a lot with friends. Like we would drive downtown. We would go for food at a place called like Tres Carnales. We'd go get tacos and stuff like that. And then we'd go longboarding in the valley. Like that shit was a lot of fun. I loved doing that. And we're hoping to do that again soon, but you know, like it's not skateboarding. Skateboarding is like doing grinds on rails and doing tricks and stuff like that. So maybe I would get into that, but I find it a little bit too over the top for me. I find it a little bit for me.
Yeah, exactly. You have to really, it's the same thing as we were talking about with gaming and everything else. You have to be like more passionate about it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
To want to risk, but more of a risk than becoming a YouTuber or a video gamer, because you're actually going out and like
physically
breaking your leg, injuring yourself.
Yeah. Even
right?
with protective gear, it just takes one wrong fall and suddenly you have a backwards elbow.
Yeah, exactly. Like pro skaters, like Tony Hawk for himself, he wears all his gear, but he still has been saying that he has broken bones and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
But that's the thing. That's why I don't ever want to do anything like that. I don't have the balls for that.
No.
The only thing I'm looking at that's relatively even close to that in the future to ever getting is I might be getting a one wheel in the future.
Like a unicycle?
No, you've never heard of one wheel? It's a skateboard with the wheel in the middle that's electrically powered.
Oh, those things.
You've never heard of the one wheel? Yeah.
No, I know what the one wheels are. I just never knew that they were called that.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the closest thing to a board I'm contemplating ever getting, because yeah, that's the only thing, just for going around the park or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's move on into the last thing. So, okay, first off, Tony Hawk's
good job, Tony Hawk.
Yeah, good job, Tony Hawk. That was a legit pro gamer move. Hats off to you, good sir. But yeah, let's move on to the last topic that we have here. The last topic we have here, which Davis, do you want to talk to us a little bit about this? So the title of this is MMA legend Georges St-Pierre to be inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. So Davis, what does that mean to us?
George Rush St-Pierre. So, as I basically say, anytime I talk about it, we don't talk about sports very often.
Nope.
You know, on this. Last time was when we talked about McGregor's fight with Khabib.
That was a long ass time ago. No, we did one before that. We did Jake Paul versus dumb shit. I can't remember his name. That's
like YouTube and
that's YouTube boxing, yeah. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, and boxing, not actual UFC.
Dumb shit versus dumb shit, but please continue.
So it's been a long time since I've actually really followed the UFC. I don't like, when I was in my earlier 20s, I watched quite a bit more, and that's when GSP was in his prime. So this was the article was talking about, I think, he was in his prime, basically. UFC 43 was the one they were talking about, and the UFC that just aired last weekend. So on that note as well, the UFC was the first sport to come back through the whole pandemic.
Yep.
And it was so weird to watch because they were in Jacksonville, Florida. They were in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yep.
With an entire arena, not a single audience member. So it was just the fighters, their crew of people, the commentators, the judges, and like the announcers.
That sounds like more people than the 15 limit, dude. We're gonna have to call security on this one. But anyways,
but like they were walking out, and their coaches and everything had masks on. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Oh, you could just hear like all like. Anyway, it was still good.
Welcome back to the UFC fight. Today we are fighting with Georges St-Pierre and coronavirus. Georges St-Pierre is gonna take down coronavirus's ass.
Like that. That's what I imagine it sounds like. It's just like
it's kind of similar.
But anyways,
yeah, this was saying that's what it UFC 46, and basically to give you perspective, that was UFC 46 in 2004. The one that just aired was UFC 249. So that's how long ago.
46 to 249. What?
No, like every month there's a new UFC. That's
what it's
like,
so UFC, it's monthly. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was
UFC
just like
40. The next month is UFC 47. The next
I was just
month
like,
is
how the fuck
48.
do you get from that number to that number that quickly?
No, that's just that's how many. That's how many it's been since he was really, really like popular. And GSP is to Canadian MMA as Conor McDavid is to the Oilers. Like, so everyone in Edmonton knows Conor McDavid. They know the name. He's the hype. Everyone loves McDavid.
The hype,
right? So back in early 2000, like I'm kind of surprised it's taking so long for this to happen, actually. But in that time frame, like GSP, he's one of the best people to ever do the sport, actually to compete. And I still follow him on Instagram and Twitter, but he still like works out daily, and you can still tell that it's like a passion for him. And like he was never like an asshole, like oh, I'm gonna fuck you up and beat the shit out of you or anything like that.
Was he so respectable, like a respectable opponent that was like, let's have a good fight.
Yeah, exactly. And he always, because he originally trained in like taekwondo and karate, he would always bow to his opponent. Like his training style is respect and everything like that. Yeah, I could look like, but I don't know. I really liked watching him. I actually have one of the DVDs that's literally just one of his fights specifically. I actually have it on DVD, but I don't know. I always liked it, and then it's been a long time since I've really watched anything really UFC other than last weekend. I watched the most recent one, and then before that, I watched the. I didn't even end up watching the Khabib McGregor fight that we talked about a while ago. I just remember watching like highlights of it. So it's been a long time since I've gotten into it, and I've always liked it, not only just because it's probably the only like physical sport that I really follow, right?
Yeah.
And I still barely even follow that. Like I don't watch hockey or football or soccer or eSports. Like
yeah. I feel like you would love some esport. I have to find one. Like Overwatch League is like 6-on-6 shooting and stuff like that. It's kind of like cartoony. That would be pretty cool. I watched for the first time, not to take away from your points or anything, but I watched for the first time professional Counter-Strike, and holy shit, the people that watch that shit get so hyped up. It was ridiculous. It went into triple overtime. So I don't know if you know how CSGO works. It's rounds of 30. Yeah. So it's first to 16. This team was down, I think, 6 rounds. And if they lost one round, they would have been eliminated and lost the tournament. But they came back and then held their own. So they do a best of 6. So first to 4 wins. So then they tied. They went 3-3.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it went 4-2. And like the team that won was Cloud9, and everyone was just like chanting like USA because they were the North American team and the other team was all Europeans. So it was absolutely nuts. But I'm just saying, you got to find at least one esport to like either it's Rocket League or
Call of Duty.
Dude, there are professional Call of Duty players.
Yeah, I know. I have watched some YouTube clips of pro
Yeah,
Call of Duty players.
exactly. You just gotta do that shit. I'd
But,
say.
sorry. On that note, I actually yesterday, just for the hell of it, I went and played COD 4 Remastered
Oh yeah.
instead of Modern Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Like I caught myself double tapping to try to do the run, like the faster
Oh,
sprint,
I do that in
and
every game now.
and to try to slide. I was like,
Mhm.
and I was like, and I always play with almost or the highest sensitivity for looking up, down, and left, right.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had it on, I think 12 or 13. And I was like, this feels slow. Like it felt janky.
Yeah, that's
And the remastered only came out a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, like
but
that I do that too. I'm playing like Call of Duty World War II on stream, which by the way, follow my stream. We were like playing Call of Duty World War II Zombies. I keep hitting the double tap sprint to try and run faster, even though you can't do it. So that's another thing I can rant about, but I already rant about it enough on my stream. Fuck World War II Zombies. Sledgehammer, you can go and fucking diddle Treyarch and find out how to make a really good game, because you clearly can't make it on your own. But anyways,
but
yeah,
so
back
use
to
that
UFC.
the hype that you were saying about the fans for Overwatch. I'll send you the clip here too, because there was a short video that talked about GSP getting into the Hall of Fame, and you'll see Canadian crowds freaking screaming, like it's so massive. He was such a big big character, and like I'm glad I didn't, but I almost got a GSP tattoo. Like I was contemplating it, but I'm glad I didn't, because that would be weird. But because I'm not even that big of. But anyway, yeah, and like I said, I still follow him. I try to do, because during quarantine he's been doing home workouts you can do.
Yeah.
But he's doing like advanced level stuff, and I'm like, oh, I can't even do like this basic move. What are you doing? But,
yeah,
I don't know. I've always been a fan, and I was glad that he finally got committed to the UFC Hall of Fame, and yeah, I think it was just something I wanted to talk about, just because it's good. You know, it's good for him, and good thing for Canadians. And
yeah, I think that's really cool. Yeah, so I just sent you something right now. It's Dyrus's retirement. So this was a pro player who had played for about 5 or 6 years, and he decided that if they lost Worlds, lost in the group stages at Worlds, I think he was going to retire, and that's what ended up happening. So he retired then and there at the World Championships, and he was like he was crying, not because he lost or that he was retiring. He cried because he was disappointing his fans. They were like, they want to see Dyrus as a pro player still. They want, like, Dyrus was putting a lot of pressure on himself to perform at the highest caliber and win. But unfortunately, they lost out, and he was crying. But he said, "I'm sorry to all my fans," and then he actually started crying. But his fans were like, "We love you, Dyrus," and in the background, everyone was like chanting Dyrus and TSM and stuff like that. It was insane. Like how esports is. So like how you and I can't even remember his name. Fuck my ass. St-Pierre. I was gonna say St. George. St-Pierre. Like this is like how you feel with St-Pierre. That's like the same thing. So yeah. Dude, you'd love esports, man. You'd love it.
When GSP surrendered, when he beat, I think it was when he beat Bizbang. It was exactly. It was the same thing. The crowd was like GSP. I remember watching that fight too, and like, yeah.
So he's the proud Canadian fighter that we all deserve and love. Yeah. Speaking of
Classified talks about him, raps about him in his song "Oh Canada."
Yeah, so you know how you were talking about people who like talk shit and stuff like that. Hey, there you go. So you know how
I wear the pad at every stream.
There you go. So you know how you were talking about people who talk shit, like professionals and stuff like that. Or like how St-Pierre isn't someone who talks shit. He's very respectable and stuff like that. So of course, going back to League of Legends has its fair share of people who are toxic, and you know, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna stomp them, and like super egotistical. There was a guy that I played with in League of Legends who got a video made about him. The video is called I face trash talking best Jin NA and show him why he's stuck in Diamond. So basically the thought process behind this video is this guy was live streaming. He was a much higher rating than this guy, but he was playing on a different account to level it up or whatever. But
just like the thing that pisses you off.
Yeah, he put this guy in his fucking place. They put him so far into the negatives, it was ridiculous. Like, and this is why you don't talk and you like don't have a big ego, because someone will come and fuck your entire career up. Like, he posted his stream into every game lobby that he goes into. So like, I played with him. He would put in his Twitch stream link, and then he says, "I'm the best Jin NA. I need mid though. Please let me have it." Stuff like that. And he has like these stupid catchphrases like "let's eat" and shit like that, and he's just annoying. Okay. But then when I saw this video get made, I was so fucking happy that it showed up on my feed, because I'm like, this douchebag got put in his place, because A, he's not the best player in North America, especially not on this character. B, he's an egotistical asshole who shit talks another player for no reason other than saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm the best Jin NA, not this guy," kind of thing. And C, he just got put in his place, and it was fucking hilarious. And the video that was made by this guy named Yamakaze made it so great. So I just wanted to say that. Shout out to Yamakaze for putting this guy in his fucking place. It's great. It's hilarious. Love that guy. But yeah.
Okay.
Don't shit
talk.
Yeah, don't. Okay, there's an okay point of shit talking, but there's also just shit talking that's strictly from ego. When you say you're the best player in NA and you're not the best player in NA, that's an ego that you have to let go of. Like, just because you are like the 6 ratings above, like lower than the best rating, and not by like, yeah, he's first place, I'm 6th place. He's like, yeah, I'm 10,000th and this guy is first place, but I am better than him. I just can't get there. Like, you're an egotistical maniac and you don't deserve to win. And like, you need to check your attitude, because people are going to enjoy harassing you and bullying you and putting you in your place, because that's where you belong, until your ego gets put aside. So I'm okay with shit talking. Like, there have been hilarious moments of shit talking that humble people. There have been hilarious moments of shit talking where it's deserved and stuff like that. But don't be an egotistical shit talker. Don't think because I'm super good at this game doesn't mean you're the best until everyone says you're the best. Sorry. Just gonna leave that there.
Okay.
Done. Okay. I think that's gonna do it for us here at the M3 podcast. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Oh yeah, there's one more thing I wanted to say. We released our first review video. So it's the movie Extraction, and we titled it An Unnecessary Action Movie, so you can go check out what we thought of the movie. We'll put a link to it down below, but it's also just on our channel if you want to check that out. On our YouTube channel, I should say, because people could be watching this on audio listening devices. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please make sure to subscribe and follow on whatever streaming service that you are watching this on, YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff. Make sure to follow our Twitters. Links are all going to be in the description. Yeah, Davis,
I'm coming out with myself personally. I'm coming out with new content. I have a new video that's going to be coming out within hopefully within the week.
There you go. So make sure to check out Davis's channel for his new video. Make sure to check out our first review video. Let us know what you think.
And check us out on Twitch for our gaming.
Exactly.
Follow us on
Saturdays, we are talking about
see my terrible gaming.
Terrible gaming. We're talking about getting into Rocket League, but I think Call of Duty Duos is coming out soon, so we will let you know. If that comes out, then we'll be playing that. If not, we'll probably be playing Rocket League, but most likely we'll be playing Call of Duty, and hopefully we can do better in duos than we can in trios without having the man down.
Yeah.
But if we have more people playing, then of course we're going to be playing with more people, because it's always more fun when you have more people.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So anyways, check out all of the stuff down in the description. Make sure to hit that notification bell on YouTube. And yeah, that's going to be it for us at the M3 podcast. We hope you're staying safe out there, and hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your life.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you for listening. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and check out our other YouTube content such as our M3 reviews, and catch us every Saturday on twitch.tv/multimediagames. Thank you so much.